Welcome to the History AI podcast, where the past comes alive with facts, anecdotes, and a dash of humor. Here are your hosts, Chuck and Marco.
Welcome to the History AI podcast. I'm Chuck.
And I'm Marco. Today, we're diving into the life of a true American legend, Meriwether Lewis.
Lewis. Half of the famous duo, Lewis and Clark. A man who wore many hats: explorer, soldier, and governor.
And let's not forget, a man who also probably wore actual raccoon hats. It was the fashion back then.
Right you are, Marco. Let's start from the beginning.
Meriwether Lewis was born on August 18, 1774, in Albemarle County, Virginia, at a time when the American colonies were on the cusp of revolutionary change.
His birthplace, Locust Hill, was steeped in both personal and historical significance. After his father's death in 1779, his mother, Lucy Lewis, remarried and moved the family, which included a young Meriwether, to Georgia. They returned to Virginia when Lewis was around 13, a move that marked a return to his roots and his future destiny.
And Chuck, we can't overlook an important connection in Lewis's life, his link to Thomas Jefferson. His family was not only well established in Virginia but also had connections with the Jefferson family.
That's right, Marco. Lewis's mother was a cousin of Thomas Jefferson. This connection played a crucial role in his life. Jefferson, a family friend and future president, took a keen interest in young Lewis's education and development.
Jefferson, recognizing Lewis's potential, became something of a mentor to him. Under Jefferson's influence, Lewis developed an interest in natural sciences, exploration, and the burgeoning idea of westward expansion.
Lewis's education, though largely informal, was influenced by Jefferson's Enlightenment ideals. He learned plant and animal sciences, which were of great interest to Jefferson, and honed skills like surveying and map-making.
His mother, Lucy, was a strong and resourceful woman who managed the plantation after her second husband's death. She ensured Lewis received an education, which, combined with his family's connection to Jefferson, set him on a path that would eventually lead to the historic Lewis and Clark expedition.
From managing a plantation to learning wilderness survival skills, his early life was a tapestry of experiences that prepared him for his future endeavors. His family's resilience and connection to influential figures like Jefferson played a pivotal role in shaping his destiny.
Indeed, Chuck. Meriwether Lewis's early life was a mix of frontier toughness, familial connections, and mentorship under one of America's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. At the age of 20, following his mother's remarriage and relocation, Lewis decided to join the Virginia militia. This was a pivotal moment, marking his transition from plantation life to a career that would lead him into uncharted territories.
It seems like his family history, filled with resilience, exploration, and a touch of the revolutionary spirit, set the stage for Lewis's remarkable journey.
Absolutely, Chuck. Meriwether Lewis's early life was a true American frontier story, full of challenges, adventure, and the kind of determination that shapes great explorers. In 1794, at the age of 20, Meriwether Lewis embarked on his military career, joining the Virginia militia during the Whiskey Rebellion.
This wasn't just any rebellion. The Whiskey Rebellion was a significant uprising against the federal government's tax on distilled spirits. Quite a start for a young soldier.
Indeed, Chuck. His involvement in quelling the rebellion under General Mad Anthony Wayne was his baptism by fire. It wasn't just about fighting, it was about understanding the complexities of a young nation grappling with internal conflict.
Lewis then transferred to the regular army and was commissioned as an ensign, the lowest rank of commissioned officer. He quickly rose through the ranks though, becoming a captain in just a few years.
His time in the army was marked by his exemplary service and leadership. He was recognized for his integrity, intelligence, and a keen sense of duty. These qualities caught the attention of his superiors and, most importantly, of Thomas Jefferson.
While in the army, Lewis served in a variety of frontier outposts. He was stationed at various forts along the Ohio River, a key area in the nation's expansion westward.
His military experience also honed his skills in wilderness survival, navigation, and dealings with Native American tribes. These were crucial skills that would later prove invaluable during the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Lewis's military career was a crucial phase that shaped his character and skills. His discipline, leadership, and exposure to the American frontier laid the groundwork for his future explorations.
Absolutely, Chuck. His military service was more than just a job, it was the forge in which the explorer and leader Meriwether Lewis was tempered. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson tasked Meriwether Lewis with an extraordinary mission: to explore the newly acquired Louisiana Territory and find a water route to the Pacific Ocean.
This mission, known as the Corps of Discovery, wasn't just a casual stroll through the wilderness. It was a diplomatic, scientific, and exploratory endeavor of epic proportions.
Lewis, with his military background and naturalist leanings, was the perfect choice. He prepared meticulously, studying medicine, botany, astronomy, and cartography to equip himself for the challenges ahead.
And let's not forget his co-commander, William Clark. Lewis personally chose Clark, his former Army superior, to join him. Together, they formed a leadership duo that was both dynamic and effective.
Their team, the Corps of Discovery, was a diverse group of about 45 people, including soldiers, frontiersmen, and a French-Canadian interpreter who brought along his Shoshone wife, Sacagawea.
Sacagawea turned out to be invaluable, not just as a translator but as a guide and diplomat with the Native American tribes they encountered.
The journey began in May 1804. They traveled up the Missouri River, facing challenges like harsh weather, difficult terrain, and the need to negotiate with various Native American tribes.
They wintered at Fort Mandan in present-day North Dakota, where they gathered information, prepared for the journey west, and sent back an initial report along with maps and specimens.
The expedition's scientific contributions were monumental. They documented over 300 new species of animals and plants, noted geographical features, and recorded meteorological data.
And let's not forget their encounters with various Native American tribes. They established diplomatic relations and collected valuable information about the cultural and political landscapes of the tribes.
After reaching the Pacific in November 1805, they spent a harsh winter at Fort Clatsop, in present-day Oregon, before heading back in March 1806.
The return journey was equally challenging. They split into separate groups to explore more territory and eventually reunited in North Dakota.
Their return in September 1806 was a cause for celebration. They had traversed, mapped, and documented a vast expanse of the American West, laying the foundation for future exploration and expansion.
The Lewis and Clark expedition, as it came to be known, was a watershed moment in American history. It embodied the spirit of exploration and dramatically expanded the nation's knowledge of the vast Western territories.
Indeed, Chuck. It was more than just a journey, it was a groundbreaking endeavor that changed the course of American history. Following the triumphant return of the Corps of Discovery, Meriwether Lewis's journey was far from over. In 1807, President Jefferson appointed him as the governor of the Louisiana Territory.
This was a huge responsibility. As governor, Lewis faced the daunting task of administering a vast and largely unexplored territory.
His governorship was marked by several challenges. He had to navigate complex political landscapes, manage the territory's affairs, and deal with various conflicts, including tensions with the British in Canada and disputes with Native American tribes.
Lewis also focused on continuing the work he started during the expedition. He planned to publish his journals and was deeply involved in organizing and documenting his findings. Unfortunately, these projects were marred by delays and difficulties.
His time as governor wasn't just administrative. Lewis embarked on several expeditions to further explore the territory. He aimed to solidify American claims, establish trade routes, and foster relations with native tribes.
But Lewis's life in St. Louis wasn't all smooth sailing. He faced personal and financial challenges, including health problems that some historians believe were linked to malaria or other illnesses acquired during his travels.
His administrative skills were also called into question. He struggled with the bureaucracy and the isolation of his position. This was a far cry from the camaraderie and sense of purpose he experienced during his expedition.
In 1809, beset by these personal and professional troubles, Lewis planned a trip to Washington, D.C., to address issues regarding his expenses as governor and to finalize his expedition journals.
Tragically, he never made it to Washington. On the way, in October 1809, Meriwether Lewis died under mysterious circumstances at Grinder's Stand, an inn on the Natchez Trace in Tennessee.
His death, whether by suicide or murder, remains a subject of debate and mystery. What's clear, though, is that his passing marked the end of a remarkable life filled with adventure, discovery, and significant contributions to the American frontier.
Meriwether Lewis's legacy as a governor and explorer continued to influence the course of American history long after his untimely death.
Absolutely, Marco. His efforts as both an explorer and a governor played a pivotal role in expanding and shaping the early United States.
Meriwether Lewis's death on October 11, 1809, remains one of the most debated mysteries in American history. He was only 35 years old.
Lewis was en route to Washington, D.C., to resolve issues related to his tenure as governor and to publish his expedition journals. He stopped at Grinder's Stand, an inn on the Natchez Trace in Tennessee, where the tragedy occurred.
The official account states that Lewis died from gunshot wounds, one to the head and one to the abdomen, and the initial verdict was suicide. However, there are several factors that have led historians to question this conclusion.
Right, Marco. One theory suggests murder. Lewis had many political enemies and faced financial difficulties. Some speculate that he might have been killed over a political or financial dispute.
Another intriguing aspect is the mysterious disappearance of part of his journal. Some historians believe the missing journal could have contained sensitive information, perhaps leading to his murder.
The state of Lewis's mental health is also a point of debate. Friends and colleagues, including Thomas Jefferson, noted that Lewis had been in a state of depression and may have struggled with alcoholism.
There's also speculation about his physical health. Some suggest that he might have been suffering from malaria or syphilis, which could have affected his mental state.
Despite various theories, no conclusive evidence has ever surfaced to definitively solve the mystery of Lewis's death. The missing journal pages add to the intrigue, leading to endless speculation about what secrets they might have held.
The debate over his death mirrors the complexity of his life, a blend of adventure, achievement, and enigma.
Meriwether Lewis's death, while tragic and mysterious, does not overshadow his monumental contributions. His explorations and governorship helped shape the American frontier.
His death, shrouded in mystery, adds a final, intriguing chapter to the remarkable story of this American explorer and leader. Meriwether Lewis's legacy extends far beyond the mysterious circumstances of his death. His contributions to the United States are foundational and lasting.
Absolutely, Marco. Let's start with the Lewis and Clark expedition. This journey fundamentally changed America's understanding of its western territories. The expedition's maps and journals provided invaluable information for future explorers and settlers.
The scientific achievements of the expedition were monumental. Lewis, Clark, and their team documented hundreds of animal and plant species, many of which were unknown to science at that time. Their observations laid the groundwork for future scientific studies in botany, zoology, and ecology.
Lewis's interactions with Native American tribes were also significant. The expedition established diplomatic relations with dozens of tribes, collected important information about their cultures, and set the stage for future interactions between the United States and native nations.
As governor of the Louisiana Territory, Lewis worked tirelessly to administer and organize this vast new acquisition. His efforts, though sometimes overshadowed by the expedition, were crucial in the early governance and exploration of the territory.
His tragic and untimely death doesn't diminish his role as a visionary leader. Lewis embodied the spirit of American exploration and expansion. His courage, determination, and intellectual curiosity were exemplary.
His journals, even with the mysterious missing pages, are a treasure trove of information. They offer not just scientific data, but a window into the challenges and wonders of early American exploration.
Lewis's impact on American history is also evident in how we view exploration and the concept of the American frontier. He is a symbol of the adventurous spirit and the quest for knowledge that defined early America.
In many ways, Lewis helped to shape the American identity itself, one of exploration, discovery, and a deep connection with the natural world.
The legacy of Meriwether Lewis is a tapestry of exploration, scientific discovery, and leadership. His life and work continue to inspire and inform our understanding of America's past and its natural heritage.
As we wrap up, let's remember Meriwether Lewis not just as an explorer, but as a visionary who helped shape a nation.
Thank you for joining us on the History AI podcast. If you liked our show, please subscribe, rate, and share.
And remember, history is not just about the past. It's about understanding our journey to the present. Until next time, keep exploring.
Step into the thrilling world of sports betting with The Starting Line, an introduction to sports betting. Whether you're a beginner or simply curious, this comprehensive guide takes you from the basics to the advanced. Learn to decode odds, develop winning strategies, and bet responsibly. Get your copy now and transform every game into an adventure. The Starting Line is your first step towards mastering the art of sports betting. Available on Amazon.